the main goal coming this week. However, it needed to be done, and obviously you love winning games in this fashion.
The fashion he was referring to was dominating. He's Jim Polzin from the Wisconsin State Journal. I'm Zach Hanley, and this is the Badger Blueprint. Jim, for the first time in a long time, all three phases came to play for the Badgers.
Yeah, it was a pretty complete game. I think this team needed it. We had talked last week about how Tyler Beach said they wanted to draw a line in the sand, and I think they got closer to being the team they want to be. It wasn't perfect. There's still ways to go, but it was a starting point.
The big thing on offense, Wisconsin football got back to being Wisconsin football. And they can thank the two-headed rushing attack of Chez Mellusi and Braylon Allen for that. The Badger duo combined for 276 of UW's season-high 391 rushing yards. As a team, they averaged nearly 6.5 yards per carry, and Saturday was simply a lot of fun for the big guys up front.
We didn't come in with a mindset of, you know, we want to get this many yards, or we want to do this, or we want to score this many points. It was just kind of like, you know, forget everything else. Let's just go out and just beat the brakes off guys. And I think that reflects how the game went.
We as a group just showed our dominance, and, you know, even guys that know we're going to run the ball, we can't stop it. So I think that today was huge for our confidence.
Allen and Mellusi are like the thunder and lightning for UW's ground game, but Allen talked about confidence. That performance is what the offense needed to finally get things going a little bit.
Yeah, Zach, if you would have told me this team was going to rush for 391 yards, I don't think I would have believed you based on what we saw in the 3 or 4 games previous. But they got it going early. I thought Mellusi and Braylon Allen ran as hard as they've run all season. And frankly, it's probably had a lot to do with what the guys in front of them were doing. There were holes there. There was getting some push. It was really an all-around good effort.
The Wisconsin defense had a field day against Illinois. They held the Illini to 93 total yards. It was the first time since 2017 they held a Big Ten team under 100, and they didn't give up a score. 2 things they talk about each week, and 2 things they expect to do.
As a defense, that's what we want. That's what we expect. You know, if we play our game, then that is what the outcome should be. That's what we want it to be.
I mean, we don't even want to give up a first down, you know, so I think one of our big focuses was playing all 4 quarters today, because we haven't done that yet. And I think our defense did a good job in playing all 4 quarters.
Jim, you've seen a lot of good defensive performances. This one kind of reminded me of that game in 2017 against Iowa. Illinois just couldn't do anything.
Right, and I think there's a caveat that it is Illinois, right? I think that's important to remember. But anytime you hold a team to less than 100 yards, it's a really good effort. I thought the thing they did was just they were aggressive from the get-go. Keanu Benton was in Illinois' quarterback's face on the very first snap. They stopped the run. Illinois didn't really try to run, and that was their strength coming in. I think they realized that, hey, we can't run the ball on this team. Let's try to throw the ball.
That defense has a unique challenge on their hands this Saturday with Army coming to Camp Randall. The Black Knights run the triple option and run it well. They're so good at it, the Badgers actually started watching some film of them back in fall camp just so they'd be familiar with it for this week. Now, they average nearly 320 yards on the ground per game, so UW knows what's coming, and they can't wait to try and stop it.
The way that they want to play ball is 3 yards a carry. That's winning football for them. So, you know, it's not like they're looking to get big hits, get 10-yard carries all the time. If they're staying ahead of the chains a little bit, then hey, then that's winning football for them.
Honestly, Army's an uncomfortable matchup for any team. Like, when you watch them, it's not something that you see. I can't say that I love the matchup, but I'm excited for the opportunity.
Normally, it's the Badger D making teams uncomfortable. It's going to be interesting to see if they can stay patient and stay disciplined, because this type of football isn't pretty.
Yeah, I think Jim Leonhard admitting that they had done some work in the preseason is really, frankly, interesting. They don't do that. You know, that's just not something that they do very often, especially when a team isn't coming until the 5th or 6th week of the season. Army has only thrown the ball 33 times this year, but the one thing that Wisconsin has to watch out for is when they complete passes, they're deep ones. They're averaging 21 yards plus per completion.
Whatever word you want to put on it, right? Like, it's going to be grimy.
Still to come on the Badger Blueprint, Wisconsin is flying high after getting back in the win column. Will they make it 2 in a row and slow down Army's ground game? Find out next.
It's a different game just as far as like flow of it. You know, you're going to get a little bit more limited possessions, and just got to be more efficient on those possessions.
This game could be the fastest college football game in history, with both teams running the ball pretty much every play. But Mertz hit it on the head. They have to make each possession count. Will they be able to?
Yeah, I think Wisconsin wins this one. I think it'll be similar to last week's game. I don't think Wisconsin's going to score a ton of points because they're not going to get a ton of possessions, but I think you'll see that running game continue to flourish, and the defense is the defense.
Listen to this. Time of possession this season for these two. Army is at 40 minutes per game. Wisconsin just under 36. Who doesn't love a little old school football, right? But the only stat that matters is points. The Badgers will have more. And that's it for this week's Badger Blueprint. For Jim Polzin, I'm Zach Hanley. Thanks for watching.